Hello. By now, many of you, I believe, have seen the video I shared this weekend about designing small group collaboration within Schoology and Microsoft Teams. I hope you got a chance to see that video. If not, check it out. I want to take this even a step further and kind of share a weekly plan with you. Again, I just do this to try and generate some inspiration. And I know that a lot of people are just having a hard time even imagining what this could potentially look like. So, in this course, I've embedded this as an interactive update, and we'll kind of walk through this. So, first, you see there is a flipped lesson. And I gave a direct link to Mr. Oldfield's instructional video. If I'm going to do a video with students, I see little downside to making that an ed puzzle or a smart spot quiz. So don't just give a passive video to watch. Go ahead and put it in Smart Spot and embed questions throughout the video. Make it an interactive experience. So if I had an instructional video, I'm going to insert check for understanding questions throughout the video. That's what that link is. And that might be for Monday, and that might be all my students do Monday, is just access that transfer of information, answer some questions about it, and then they're prepared for the whole group experience on Tuesday. Notice I put in here Monday that I have office hours, and they're allowed to join if they have questions. During that class period, I'll be available in a Teams meeting. If students join and have questions, I'll be there to offer support. Tuesday's a whole group experience, and they're supposed to click this link to join that whole group experience at 10:10 a.m. That represented the beginning of our class period. And Wednesday, there's some online practice, and if they click there, it takes them directly to a folder in Schoology where they could access those assignments, and those folders are also clearly labeled inside this course as well. Of course, I'm just hyperlinking to them in case they want to get there this way. I also put in a help desk on Wednesday, since that online practice is mostly independent, and it's asynchronous. They can do it at any time, but if they want access to my support, they're to bring questions to the help desk. I'll be available during that class period. What are you doing during that time where you're not actually on stage providing direct support or instruction? Well, you're working behind the scenes. You're looking at data as that's coming in through Schoology. If your students are doing online practice in an adaptive learning platform, that platform is going to send you rich data based on how your students are responding and what they're submitting. That's what you're doing during that time. And then you're reaching out to those students who are struggling and needing extra support. You're touching base with those kids. You're diagnosing misconceptions, and you're reaching out to those kids. Thursday is small group meetings, and the directions and the materials are in this link. And if they click that, that'll open up the chart that you saw in the previous video. So I put there that group materials are in the files section of those Teams meetings. I've set those up ahead of time, and I told the students to check the meeting notes for the questions that they're to discuss in their small groups. I've already posed questions in those small groups. I want them to get together and address those questions with their teammates. I put a note in there for Thursday that I would be popping in and out of those small group meetings, and what I would actually join them. That's what that means. I would join them just for a brief time, make sure things are going well. I might join and not even say anything. I'll just join and observe for a minute or two. I'll jump out and join another one. But I'll be available, and if they need me, they can put something directly in the chat, because on Microsoft Teams, I have access to all the group chats, and I could see them chatting in live fashion. So if they needed me, they could just pop something in there. On Friday, there's a performance assessment. And then that's where I also want them to report their progress on a self-assessment document that we use regularly. So let me show you both of those things. The performance assessment, I'll have a separate video on this, but I really think our experience in this new model is going to force us to drastically consider how we are assessing learning, because in many cases, students aren't even going to be in our presence when they take these assessments. So let's see, start an assessment. Let's see what the first question looks like. Suppose we gave a frog a diet free of impurities, fresh, organic flies, no pesticides, nothing impure. Would the frog still need a kidney? Record your response. And the students then would actually have to record their response. And if I've done an effective job throughout the week, I've prepared students with the appropriate content and opportunities to practice things on that particular concept. But this is a performance assessment. They're not going to be able to, to Google answers or prepare a lengthy report. But I just want them to talk about that situation with the frog, and then from those responses, I'll make a judgment on on their learning. That's more of a performance assessment. Okay, let's look at that self-assessment doc. We may have a skill that we are focusing on at that time, and I don't know what that skill might be, but let's just look at one of these slides. So for time management, I would ask my students to reflect on the way that they manage their time throughout that week. And I would ask them to record and insert a video response or a link to a Flipgrid response. I would ask them to insert an image or work sample that represents their growth or decline along that focus skill, across that skill of time management. So we're being purposeful in allowing kids to reflect on how they grew during that week, focusing in on time management. And that would be maybe one of the skills that we would focus on. And these would change. I have some templates. Obviously, that's what you're looking at here. These are just templates set up for our schools. But students could use these to be very purposeful and intentional about recording their progress across these focus skills. I think in this new model of schooling, this is going to be really important. Let's go back to that. But that's Monday through Friday. And again, I just hope that that gives you some inspiration on what this could look and feel like. Thank you for watching.